Do you think, church leader, you can protect the flock with your certificate? Satan is saying, ho, ho, ho. When a church leader falls asleep, Satan devours. Satan devours. I won't have the time to talk about the entire gospel of today, but I'll say this. 7 parables. The first one, the sower went out to sow seed on the wayside, on the rocky ground, on the thorns, and then he turned it into fertile land. That's one. Second one, the sower went and sowed good seed in his own field. That's the second one. But the leaders went asleep, because church leaders, we became too preoccupied with their prestigious life. Oh, when a church leader forgets the poor, when a church leader forgets on how to sit at the gutter, he's finished. Satan has devoured him, even if he's a pope. You know what happened with the church leaders, with the church? We became friends with big caliber boys of the world. We sat with presidents, we sat with prime ministers, we sat with kings, we sat with rich people, famous people, people of authority, of power, of money. And we stepped on the poor. We stepped on them. Why? Because they are a liability. We get nothing out of them. I have to spend money on them. I can't afford it as a church leader. Why? Because my master is not Christ, it's Satan. And Satan will always take. He will never give. But on the other hand, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, all glory to his holy name, he will always give and never take. He even gave his own clothes and went up on the cross fully naked as an adult. Do you know how embarrassing that is for a young mature man, 33 years of age, to go fully naked before everyone? They were all making fun of him. He did it because this is the true shepherd. He never sat with prestigious people, famous people. He sat with the rejected, the afflicted, the forgotten people. That's why his church is built on the rock. Today, church leaders are building their own churches on sand. On sand. They enjoy the limousines and the red carpets rolled under their feet. Why do you need bodyguards? What are you afraid of? Somebody's killing you? Hallelujah. In Arabic comes beautifully, لي الحياة هو المسيح والموت هو ربح. I have a life and it's Christ, and death is a gain for me. Death is gain. Since Christ is my life, then death is gain. Why? Because it is through death that I get to see my sweetheart face to face, no longer in a maze, as St. Paul puts it so eloquently. I get to see him face to face. Why do I need to sit with rich people as a church leader? It's not your role. Yeah. Freemasonry has infiltrated the church. Money laundering has infiltrated the church. You know why? Because when the church begins to look for massive big things, those big things need a lot of money. The street beggar can't pay for that. So I'm going to need rich people. But when the rich people come in, Satan comes in. I ask you, my beloved, do you have a problem? You go to church and the church is a tent? I'll put it this way. I'll give you two options. One is I build you a massive cathedral all the way to heaven. You enter the cathedral, it is all precious stones, gold, silver, pearls everywhere. And you say, wow, wow, wow. You enter this massive cathedral and you see Satan, not Christ. And on the other hand, you enter a very humble, no air conditioning, no doors, no windows, no cushioned seats, comfortable, no lights. You enter a tent and you say, what is this place? I say to you, this is the house of the Lord. And you say, man, even the street beggar won't even sleep here. But you enter that humble tent and you find God. Which one do you choose? We chose high places. We met Satan, not God. And this is the parable, my beloved, and I'll leave you with it. When the enemy entered and planted the tares gave out two outcomes. One, the mustard seed and the yeast. Two outcomes came out of the tares. The mustard seed and the yeast. It says that the kingdom of heaven is like that mustard seed. In its size, it's the smallest of all seeds. But when you plant it, it becomes a tree bigger than so many trees. But the birds of the sky comes and nestles in this tree. The very beginning of the parable, when those seeds fell on the wayside, the Lord said, the bird of the sky came and devoured those seeds. When the disciples approached the Lord and asked him, what does this parable mean? He said that the bird of the sky is Satan. So if the bird of the sky in the beginning of the parable is Satan, well, guess what? In the midst of it and in the end of it is also Satan. He said this mustard seed became a very big tree, and the bird of the sky came and nestled in it. Well, the bird of the sky, the Lord said earlier, it's Satan. So Satan nestled in this big tree. Do you know which big tree this is? It's a harsh reality. I pray nobody gets me wrong. The Lord is talking about the church. This is the first division of the beloved Church of Christ in 1054, which they call or refer to as the Great Schism. This is the Great Schism where the tree became massive and the church got divided in 1054 between West and East. West became Catholic and East became Orthodox officially in 1054. And do you know the main reason for this split? What it was? The throne. My throne is the greatest, said a certain bishop, and everyone in Christendom must follow the throne. And the Lord said the tree became big because my church should always remain humble. There is no thrones in my church. There is no high places in my church. If you truly follow the Messiah, the true Messiah of the Holy Bible, then you need to live on earth as street beggars begging for love, not as kings seeking high places. What divided the church was that high place. The tree became massive. So when we seeked positions, we imitated the world. Who runs and rules over the world? Satan. Satan ruled over the church. Brothers became enemies. The Pope of Rome, for the first time in 1,000 years, he was trying to go and see the Patriarch of Russia. For 1,000 years, they never spoke. Look at Satan. Is anybody home? And these Church leaders, God bless their hearts, they're still insisting, I'm right. One will come and say, if you're not Catholic, you're not making it to heaven. The other one comes and says, if you're not Eastern Orthodox, you're not making it to heaven, because Eastern Orthodoxy are the chosen people of God. And the other one will come and say, you have to be Oriental Orthodoxy. And the other one will come and say, none of the above.